Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Here's an update on that Phalaenopsis that I uppotted into this moss, bark, and larger sections of foam or perlite mix. This is from Repotting that I bought that mix from. And I was a little apprehensive when repotting this. Some people said that maybe it wasn't a good idea. Other people said that there would be a transition period where this wouldn't like it initially. And I think I did go through that. The leaves were kind of floppy. And I know that when I went to repot it, I was losing this one here. I think I lost one, and then this one here was starting to turn. But the rest of them were kind of limp too. So I almost was going to throw this back into a bark mixture. But I'm glad I didn't, because it's really taken off and seems to have adjusted. Someone said that it would adjust, and it has. So I've got some new growth here. Wow, I didn't realize how shiny that was. It's almost like I put what you get when you put neem oil on citrus. But that's nice. And I know it's doing good because I always get upset when the littlest things happen on this thing. I have it in this tray here because I have it in another tray with gravel in for increased humidity. And that's so when I take this off to bring it over to the sink to water it, I don't have all this gravel that slowly falls off between here and the sink before I can get it to the sink. So I just take it out of this tray here, and I did that. And I broke off a piece of a root. I didn't realize that the roots are coming through the bottom. And that's one of the things I like about this clear plastic is the roots, because they're green. I'm assuming that they participate in photosynthesis. You can see, I can get a good idea. I can see the roots in here. They're just, well, they're coming through the bottom. What can I say? And I broke off a piece here. I don't know what it is. Here's another green root here. There's some more here. See that? So there's a lot of roots. I got some green on the moss inside there. There's some more green roots. So there's some nice roots going on in here. And someone said that it might be too wet, but I tell you, in New England in the wintertime, it's dry. All the moisture's locked up. And so, it did give me pause to think about, when I feel this top, it dries out. But that's why I took off this bottom real quick that day. I broke that piece off because I wanted to see a gauge. Like, I can feel it's still moist. It's damp. It's not soaking, but it's dry up here. So, I do try to water this when I think it is dried out. So it seems to be doing great. You can see here. And then just within this past month here or so, got all these roots here. Really just going crazy. I don't see a flower spike. But I like this. It's I like the size of the pot too. It's a lot larger pot than it was in. I mean, it is a large orchid. So that's the Phalaenopsis that I've had for a long time. It's got to be over 15 years. I don't. I know it's over 10. Now, speaking of flower spikes, I don't know if I'm just going to include it in this video here, along with this update on this. I have a flower spike If you remember this is the Phalaenopsis that through my neglect I had reduced down to the size of my thumbnail. And it's still here. And this is the pot I've had it in for, gee, since I don't know, over a year ago. And what I've noticed is this is what this one here was doing when I transplanted it. This dries out real quick, and these are just really flopping around here. They're just not rigid, don't have moisture in them. See that? And that's what I noticed also with this once it adjusted. These are just really plump and thick and rigid. So they're getting the moisture that they need. So I want to repot this, which will also, oh, I forgot. The reason is that, let's see if we can see here, where's the flower spike? Oh, it's being hidden from view from the old flower spike. Right there. So, since I'm having such good success with this moss mix, or it is specifically called a Phalaenopsis mix from this Repot Me Imperial Blend. I'm going to put this stuff really, I just watered this yesterday, and it's kind of getting, it gets crusty. So I don't think the bark, I have some moss on top, but I think the bark is almost like resisting, you know, you have to really soak this, put this in a pot and then soak it for a little bit. Just running water over it doesn't really do much. I did notice that I've lost, you know, it's about time. I got leaf here that is gone, but that was just a small baby leaf. So I think this will do good in the new mix, so I want to repot this one up. Now the only question I have is I'm wondering, I bought these different size containers. They have sort of like a tall and then more shallow. So the different versions here, should I just go with, thinking this is maybe too big, go with the more, I mean it's the same diameter, or is that too much? I'm thinking this one here. Anything's going to be an improvement. I was thinking, you know, one of these cases where too much is maybe too much. So, yeah, I think I'll put it in this one. My thing is I'm starting to run out of room on that humidity tray when I get these larger pots on it. But yeah, I'll go with this one. So let's see what we got here for roots under all this. Yeah, so you can see here with the plastic, you can't tell what's really going on inside here. It's one of the benefits with the clear plastic. So I get summer root growth, but you can see it's sort of blanched. So, this is sort of going to be easy. I don't think I'm going to be breaking anything off here. It's not like a tangled mess of roots. So I think that size is going to be good because then I don't have to cram these roots together. So there that is. Get most of the material out. So it's really not much. I was expecting more there. I don't know. So that's what we have. There seems to be, I don't know, maybe a couple of things I want to snip out. Maybe this here. Maybe I'll get a pair of scissors. Yeah, so this looks, where's that coming from? Oh yeah, that's, I think that's dead. That don't look good, even though it has, it's funny, that's completely dead, but it has these roots here that seem to be thriving on their own. Yeah, there's nothing there, it's completely gone. See that? That's weird. Seems the roots have ability to just sustain themselves. I don't think you can get an orchid from that. So maybe take this leaf off here. This looks dead too. Take that one off. That's dead. Something else here. Okay, so that's about it. Clean that up as much as I want. You can see how the leaves are just flopping around there. At least a couple of them, the newer ones, are a little bit more rigid. So I'll put this on the compost pile. Here's the new pot. Put some of this in the bottom here. This, maybe I need to go like this. I forgot how much moss was in this as compared to everything else. That's why I was a little apprehensive. But you know, what works for me is not going to work for everyone else. Really, you have to, you know, you might need to make a custom mixture for your location, I would think. Depending on how humid your conditions are in your house. No, I don't think I like that. So somehow I get this, thinking there's a little bit more material on this side. Right here. I don't know, how can I work that? Let's see. Okay, that's it. I have to admit, I removed it again. Wasn't happy with it. Still not, but I'll leave it alone. I think I just might have to maybe pull it over or stake it. I don't know. Nothing. There's nothing that says that orchid has to grow completely straight. So, I've got this repotted with the prospects of. I can't. This keeps on blocking it. With the prospects of a new flower spike right there. And hopefully this will adapt to this mixture as well as the other one. So I did have a couple of voids in here. I try to poke it more moss in there around the roots. But you'll have these pockets of humidity, I guess. This stuff is still damp. Some the original stuff that I had it in, it's a sealed bag, so it's still damp. I don't even know if I have to water this. But this will, I think, let me know if these leaves start to plump up and I start to get some new growth, whether it likes it or not. Well, it should acclimate. It's a Phalaenopsis, so it should enjoy this mix as well as this big guy here. So this is New England Gardening with some orchid maintenance, the progress or update on this guy, and repotting this. This has a nice, what is this, a red, purple, or dark purplish flower? I forget. It's been over a year since this has bloomed. So I think that's an indication that it didn't like that mix. That bark was just drying out too much. So this is New England Gardening. Thanks for watching.